Some people like to go on fancy hotels when they travel, but our family likes to take a tent or an RV usually. So it's not surprising our dad wanted to hike a 13,000-foot mountain for his birthday. The mountain he chose was near Silverton, Colorado. It's called Ice Lake Trail. It's about a 2-hour drive, and that's what we did. Later that night we left. We get there, we stay the night, and then the next morning we're on the trail. Kelsey dog, which is a puppy, she went. My grandma dog, which is Annie, she also went. My mom, my dad, my sister, and I also went. And then we're on the trail, and we're hiking it up. We're hiking and walking and then hiking some more, and then we're crossing a few bridges in between. And then we get to the halfway point, which is a nice lookout area where you can get on a rock and you can take pictures of looking out over a valley that's straight down into this little valley of 3 different mountains. But people also like to use it to take a restroom break because it's a place to just do that easily without people seeing you. So our family likes to call it Poop Rock. And then about another quarter mile up the trail, we took another break just for Grandma Dog to take a little rest because she got really tired. And we saw this 20-year-old girl that's wearing clothes that you would wear normally in public, and they're not really hiking attire since you'd more wear waterproof and stuff that can possibly even be wind resistant. But she decided to wear like short sleeves and leggings and stuff, and these shiny dark black boots, which surprisingly didn't even get dirty. And then when we get to the top, we realized what her outfit really was for. It was for a photo shoot of herself, taking in the beauty of herself instead of the area around her. So our family gave her the name Instagram Girl because she was just taking in the beauty of herself, which I guess when you're at this beautiful place on the planet, you would want to take in everything around you. We hike down the mountain. We're hiking down, and then we're going back to the base, and then we leave. We talk about on the way home how nice it was to just be able to make it to the top and get to see the ice lake. And then we're home. And then about 2 weeks later, my mom walks into my room while I'm doing school. And she says, "You're not going to believe this. I was reading online that the trail Ice Lake that we were at 2 weeks ago is now on fire." She also said that they're having to evacuate people off the trail, and dogs as we speak. And then I look outside my window, wondering if there's any smoke, which there wasn't, which is, I thought, a good thing. But yet we were kind of far away from Silverton, so I couldn't really gauge that well. And then I also started to think about there was a lot of dead trees, a lot of dry timber, maybe a mudslide was there, and there's little to no water. So I also thought maybe it was very dry and some tree dropped and friction started and you got a fire. So then a couple weeks after that, when the fire is about 45% contained, I asked my mom if I can go to Durango to maybe get some more details and pictures of the fire. And there was no smoke, there wasn't really anything that we could really tell that there was a fire, so we drove onwards to Silverton. When we got to Silverton, we could see some haze in the air, but we really couldn't see any smoke. But we definitely could smell something bad was going on, like a campfire almost. Then we drove a little bit onwards to the trail turnoff, and the trail turnoff was blocked, but there was a guy in his truck. So we pull around, and I get out of the car, and I wanted to go talk to him. I talked to him about wanting to know more details, like just about the fire, of when they're going to evacuate and get off the mountain. And he said tonight, and he was telling me that the snowstorm will put it out. And And then I asked the most dreadful question I've been waiting to answer and get an answer on, and that's what caused the fire. And one word said everything it needed to, and that was, he told me, humans. In the most just heartbreaking voice. But that punched me in the stomach. I felt sick. Why did this have to happen? And then I started to remember about the hike. Kelsey playing in the yellow leaves of the aspen trees. Me getting to touch the cold water of Ice Lake and even put my feet in them. And me even getting to drink the water of Ice Lake. I also remember just how beautiful and just amazing this little place on the planet really was. Then we drove to Ouray for lunch. On the way there, we saw black bears. There were 2 cubs and a mom. I started to think about how grateful I was to see them, how grateful, and hopefully that they didn't have to face one-on-one with the fire and have to evacuate their home. But if there's one thing I will take out of this is that I need to live in the moment and have some gratitude, because all we are promised is today.